What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I have the distinct pleasure to start covering the 2021 Fantasia Festival, which is an international film festival based out in Canada. It covers a wide assortment of films and shorts of every genre. I'll try to cover as much as I realistically can on my channel in the coming days while I'm also doing my pre-existing projects, but today I'm looking at the Korean action sci-fi flick Seobok. Seobok ultimately follows around an ex-intelligence agent that is tasked on protecting the first human clone from potential threats that want to kill him due to the fact that this clone, or specimen as they call him, possesses the secret to unlock immortality. As usual, I find myself absolutely stunned by a Korean film. More and more often, I find these films to basically be an example of how not only, we should make movies here in the States, but movies everywhere. Seobok is mostly marketed as an action thriller with elements of science fiction thrown in, and every single one of those aspects are great. The thrills are thrilling. The action is often intense. But it's really the moments of the film that take a breather that encapsulated me the most, as I found this film to be incredibly thought-provoking and philosophically deep as we take a look at a very unique dynamic between a man that does not have long to live and a man that is supposed to live forever. The dying man doesn't want to die. The immortal man often questions why it's so important to live forever in the first place, because he only wants to do one thing in life and that's it. Outside of just these two men, you have people outside that want to kill the clone and people that want to protect him, and they both have absolutely valid reasons for what they're trying to do. And that goes far beyond just this one clone. And I loved how deep the film went because that provided a real, tangible weight to the action that was already good. That's the problem that I often see with movies nowadays, that, action films don't have much weight to the things happening on screen. And because they balance out this film so incredibly well, Seobok is an all-around fantastically made movie. It also looks great from the minute that you start it. You'll notice the unique vision that the filmmakers had, from a dream sequence early on to the cinematography throughout the runtime to some of the production and set design elements. And of course, the plot and character development of both our leads here. I don't want to get too deep into what these characters end up doing, since I feel like that's something that the trailers didn't really give away, so I won't either. I think that if you get around to watching the movie, you may end up really enjoying it, especially if science fiction is right up your alley and if you don't mind foreign films. What about negatives? Well, honestly, I don't really have many, other than the fact that some of the American actors in the film weren't the greatest, but that's often a problem that I run into with foreign films, since I'm guessing they don't have an extensive list of actors, which makes sense as to why the Korean actors are actually pretty decent here. Everything else I just rather praise. This is a solid film, and I'm glad that it was my first outing in a film festival, other than the one time that I submitted my own short film to a local film festival. But that's a talk show for another day. Let's go ahead and break down my final score. From an unbiased technical perspective, this film is nearly flawless in its execution. Other than a few bland performances from American actors, which is far and few between, this movie looks great with its production design, set design, action sequences, cinematography, editing, all that. This score is 90%. My bias score is nearly identical to that. I think the only difference here is that at the end of the day, even though I do consider it rewatchable, I'm not sure if I'd personally want to own it on disc or digital, which docks points slightly. But it's still a very good score at 88%, and when we average out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 89%. 89 out of 100 possible stars, or an A- letter grade. Guys, have you seen Seobok? If so, let me know your general thoughts of it in the comment section down below. I'm genuinely curious on if we see eye to eye on this one. If you haven't seen it, are you looking forward to watching it? And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the number